Proof. Well, Pat, this is a horrible way to live. You believe that he's poisoning you with what?
Only he can tell you that. I don't know. All I know is I'm feeling a lot of pain.
When did this start?
It gradually started a year after I confronted him. December 18th, 2009. It was 1:57 a.m. I saw my husband over my youngest child, and I saw his hand on her private area. I was in shock. I just laid there. I didn't know what to think. He saw me watching him. He was surprised whether I had seen him or not. I could tell. He took a long pause. He went like this. His body was over her. He was like this. And in my mind, I'm thinking, call the police. At the same time, I wanted to hurt him.
You see your husband over your daughter, touching her inappropriately?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then after this, you say that's when he started injecting you. So you went to the doctor?
I went to the doctor. They couldn't find what was wrong. I had check for toxins.
Okay, but if somebody's poisoning you to the point that it's making you sick, wouldn't that be picked up on a...
I don't know what he's doing. He's a very clever man. He's far familiar with the chemicals.
You put in 2 nanny cams.
Mm-hmm. I set up 2 nanny cams.
And you flat out caught him on video.
Yep.
Doing what?
The 2 younger sisters were at friends' sleepover. My oldest, she's a very quiet, very shy, very reserved person. I took the opportunity. I set up a camera and viewed it the next day. This was on a weekend in October. And I saw her walking off the bed. She was all naked. And then my husband, I saw half of his body, and he was all naked. And I started to shake when I saw him. I didn't know what to do. My thought is to call the police, but I got so scared. I got scared for my family because I didn't know what to do.
And so you have those films?
I have it, but I believe he got a hold of the tape and deleted that particular date. He wasn't there anymore.
You watched it on film? Mm-hmm. Then you went back to watch it again and it was gone?
Yes, the next day. I went to watch it again the next day and it was gone.
So 10, 18, 14 is missing from the tape.
Mm-hmm.
And these 2 tapes you kept in a drawer?
Yes, I kept in a dresser, and I went to get it the next day to view it again to make sure, because I really wanted to turn it in. And the particular date was gone.
And so you took him out to look again?
I spent several hours viewing from start to finish, and I couldn't find the 18th.
Her husband, Mira, is here. And he emphatically denies all of this. He says his wife is mentally ill, and these disgusting accusations are a symptom of her delusional and paranoid sickness. We're going to add him to the conversation after the break, and we're going to see, if we can, what's going on here. We'll be right back. It's a story that reads like it could have been ripped from the headlines. Wife claims husband injecting her with poison so he can molest teenage daughters. But her husband, Mira, says the reason it hasn't is because he hasn't molested his daughters, and his wife, Pat, is suffering from a serious mental illness.
My wife believes I'm having a relationship with all 3 of my daughters and poisoning her. She is paranoid and delusional. My wife has been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. She does not believe in her diagnosis at all. The accusations and the paranoia got to an all-time high a few months ago. My wife is obsessed with the idea of me poisoning her and our daughters. She stopped sleeping in the same bed as me. My wife now sleeps in my daughter's room on the floor. She puts a chest in front of the door when she's asleep to keep me from entering the room. My wife has confiscated all of the keys to all the doors and hidden them from me. She has started to lock the girls' doors, even in the middle of the day. My wife is constantly paranoid about me trying to poison her. She would sleep with a softball helmet to protect her head because she was paranoid. She's told her friends and her family. She filed a false police report stating that I was trying to poison her, that I was the girls, and I was exonerated of all wrongdoing. She's painting herself into a corner. If she feels trapped, I'm afraid of what might happen. She could do something drastic.
Well, Pat says she is not mentally ill, and the diagnosis and hospital committals are all part of Mira's master plan.
I reported Mira our children. In turn, he had me put in a mental hospital.
About 9 months ago, my wife and I had an argument. A few hours later, I called to make sure everything was okay. The sheriff's department was there, and I talked with the deputy. One of the first things he said to me was, "How long has your wife been having these delusions?" The deputy suggested that I sign the paperwork to have my wife committed.
I was diagnosed with psychosis and schizophrenic. I was committed to a mental facility. The second time, I went to the ER to check for any poisoning. They couldn't detect anything, and then they took me back to the mental hospital.
They recognized that she was being paranoid. The ER had her committed.
All I could think about while in the hospital was my children. God knows what happens to them. I know I'm falsely diagnosed.
It wouldn't surprise me if she believed that I was behind her diagnosis. And my wife is very sick.
He's getting away with what he's doing to these kids by using my diagnosis. But he's the mastermind behind all this. He is a disgusting pig.
Well, Mira, this is a very outrageous story. I'll ask you just straight up, are you attempting to poison your wife in any way? Are you injecting her in any way?
Absolutely not.
Are you or have you ever been inappropriate with any of your 3 daughters?
Never.
So where is this all coming from? She sent us hundreds and hundreds of photos that she says are injection sites where you have injected her in the night.
I believe these are all symptoms of her delusions.
She sleeps with a neck brace and a softball helmet to keep you away from her neck and her scalp. So she's pretty committed to this. I mean, this isn't a casual delusion, if there is such a thing. She's committed to her belief.
It's pretty severe.
Is it possible that you're imagining this in some way?
No. Throughout the process, talking about coming here, he was doing it. I've sent some current pictures. I took pictures. As a matter of fact, I have scars from right here on my chin from Saturday while filming. Couldn't breathe. It was enough for me to notice that he had done something. I have marks on the back of my neck, just wherever he can put it.
But you've never actually awakened with him having a needle in your skin?
No, he had drugged to me.
I got to think, somebody comes poking around a needle in my neck, face, scalp, anywhere on me, I think I'm going to kind of wake up.
He's a very sneaky person. He had been drugging me repeatedly, nightly, daily. I could be walking around the house. Anytime I'm off guard, he could walk behind me. He would act like or carry a conversation. Next thing I know, I'm feeling pain.
Okay, so just from what we've seen so far, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a delusion, right? She's already been diagnosed with schizophrenia. She calls it a false diagnosis, but come on, girl, like, you were diagnosed for a reason. You're not just gonna be diagnosed for no reason at all. And if she were being poisoned, that would have come up on her medical testing. So there is plenty of evidence so far to suggest that she is delusional and that this is just delusional paranoia, and no evidence to suggest that any of this is real.
Pat's behavior had started to turn violent. One night, Pat accused me of taking some nanny cams that I didn't even know existed. She stormed into my closet. She started pulling things off the shelves and ransacking the closet. She was incoherent, so I called 911 and the police came in and took a statement. My wife gets very upset when people don't believe her. You hear all the time about moms who just snap. If she feels like there's no way out, she might hurt the children to keep them away from me.
I look at it, one thing, is he sedating you? Is he poisoning you? And is he being inappropriate with the children here? And these are mutually exclusive. You could be totally wrong about him poisoning you or sedating you and completely right about him being inappropriate with the daughters. Is it possible that he's not trying to poison you?
No, it is possible.
I'm sorry?
It's possible. I'm dealing with it every day.
So you're saying it's not even possible that he's not trying to poison you?
He is.
You won't even entertain
Even
the
food,
possibility?
he tampered with the food.
Wow. See, that causes me great concern because I think a rational person would have to say that anything would be a possibility. And for you to say, slam shut, absolutely no alternative possibility, is hard for me to imagine. You said you would shave your head here today to show me the marks where he's put needles in. You would shave your head here. So if I have him bring out the stuff right now, you'll shave your head.
Go for it.
You sent in a lot of pictures. Mm-hmm. And I've got like 30 of them up here. Can you walk up here with me? Mm-hmm. Can you show me on this picture right here, for example, this is as high a resolution as you can get. This is a laser wall, so this is super clear. Show me where the injection site is on this picture you sent.
This one, you can see the hole on my scalp, and it's right on the vein.
It's right in this area here, in
There's
the middle.
the little hole, you can see it.
Yeah, right there. You think that this is a hole right here? Mm-hmm. Okay, and you say that's on a vein area. Okay, and Is there another great example?
Here on my arm, my forearm, one is right on my vein.
On this vein right here? Would this be it right here?
And then there's a second one right down below it.
Okay. All right. Okay, and is this a site here that you're talking
Yes.
about? This right here?
And then my eye. Here, if you look, you can see a tiny punctured hole right here.
Okay.
Wake up in the morning,
right
my
here.
eyes just feeling really burned. It burns, and it just looks really swollen.
Okay, and is there any,
On this one, you can see it too, the punctured hole
where would, up
in the
here?
camera. Yeah, you can see it right
Is
there.
it here? Okay, so this one right here. Okay, is there any alternative explanation for this other than an injection?
The injection. Some were drugs. I was drugged. I couldn't feel what he was doing.
I mean, could this just be an irregularity in this? I mean, frankly, my skin's never looked that good, but I mean, I see what you're talking about here, but could it be anything other than an injection that
No.
caused that?
No.
That's just injection.
Just
Okay.
injection.
Okay, we can go sit back down. Have you ever put anything in her food?
No, never. She does all the cooking, and she's a fantastic cook.
I've caught him a few times where I would bring food home, and he could be working out in the yard. And next thing you know, I'm walking in, he opens the fridge, and he sees me coming in and quickly closes and walks away without saying anything.
Okay, well, I've got some questions for Mira here. Pat says that her daughters are standing by their father, but she says the reason is very simple, that he has manipulated them into enjoying the abuse. Well, we're going to talk about that after the break, and I have some questions for Mira. We'll be right back.
I really believe my two oldest have been having consensual act with Mira. I don't know how far he's gone with my youngest, but I knew deep down that he has touched her.
I'm very upset about that because it's not true. My daughters know that I've never touched them inappropriately. It makes me sick in my stomach to hear them say that.
And I ask them if there's anything like that ever happened to them, and they get really upset and angry with me why I'm asking them those things. They stick by my husband, no matter what. The girls would do and say anything to protect him. Proves to me that he has been manipulating, and they'll do whatever he's asked.
My wife is saying that I've manipulated the girls into consenting to sexual abusing, and that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's part of her delusions. I can't even walk into the kitchen if one of my daughters is in there without her getting up to monitor us. If I try to be affectionate with them, she stares at me and stares at my daughters. It makes all of us uncomfortable.
I believe they like what he's doing to them, that it's becoming normal, and they are accepting what he's doing to them. I am so disgusted. I'm beyond disgusted. I can't do anything about it.
Okay, now, you've asked the girls if anything's going on, and what do they tell you?
They just deny it completely.
Is it possible they're telling you the truth? No. Okay. Now, do you recall the night of December 18th, 2009, when you were in a hotel room in Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Yes.
Tell me what happened that night that makes it stick out in your mind.
Well, aside from the fact that she brought it up a year later,
Yes,
I mean,
and you said that was a year ago. Why did you bring it up now?
our youngest, in the middle of the night, while both my wife and I were asleep, crawled into bed between the two of us, where I felt her next to me, and at first I thought that was my wife next to me, and so I, put my arm over on her, and when I realized that it was my daughter, I was startled, so I got up.
You are making that up right now. Do you tell Dr. Phil right now, everybody makes a mistake? What do you mean by that? Say it.
She thinks she can control everybody with.
Oh, okay.
That's
She seems to be
getting.
controlling you right now
I'm standing up
because
for
I'm waiting
you.
for you to finish your story, but you're letting her control you. So why don't you just keep on the
Okay,
story?
I understand. So I was startled when I realized that it was my daughter. I got up, I went to the bathroom and splashed water on my face, and then I went back to bed, and I didn't even know that she was
You
aware
were
that I
over
had
her.
gotten.
Your hand was over her.
No, that is not
Okay?
true.
You
That's
saw
not
me
true.
waking up.
That
You
is
got
not true.
surprised. You stood there for
You've
quite some time before you got off the
You've
bed. I was
completely
watching you the whole
manufactured
time.
this whole
I
thing.
was watching you the whole time, pacing back and forth in the room. I could tell that how worried you were, whether I had seen you or not.
That is not what happened.
Okay.
You get up, go to the bathroom, splash water on your face. Why?
Because I felt the warmth of her body next to me. I thought it was my wife, and so I got up when I realized it wasn't my wife.
Really? Took you long enough to get off the bed, pacing back and forth. I confronted you the next day. Your face looked all washed out like you had seen a ghost because you knew that I saw you.
what could she have seen that night that could have triggered something in her that sent her reeling?
Nothing. There was nothing.
Well, I mean,
as
just
far
from
as,
her point of view, purely
I think
accidental.
when she saw me get up startled, that is what woke her up, and then she jumped to conclusions.
You know, this happened on 12/18/09, so she said the next day, 12/19/09, in the hotel room in front of those 3 children, she confronted you about what you did the night before, and that you sat there with a guilty face, white as a ghost, head hanging.
I don't remember that.
Well, it either happened or it didn't.
Right.
I don't know how many times in your life you've been accused of molesting your children, but I would think that that one would stick out if it was the first.
She didn't confront me about it, molesting the girls at all, until a year after that. Before that, she just said what, and she had suspicious looks on her face.
Stood below the bed. I waited for you to wake up. I was so angry. I looked at you when you woke up, and you knew what I saw. Your face was so white, like you've seen a ghost. You were surprised that I caught you. And I confronted you the next morning, and you completely denied it.
What did you say?
I said, I saw what you did. How dare you?
Do you remember that?
No.
And you've been to the authorities.
Yes, I contacted numerous times.
You've been to the police, you've been to CPS,
Yes.
Child Protective Services, and they won't help you. And you say that there's no help because, well, you said frankly, because you're in the South and they're just incompetent.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean it that way.
Well, that's what you said. But you know I'm from the South, right?
I didn't mean to, Dr. Phil.
Pat and Mira's daughters are here, and with y'all's permission, I'd like to talk to them. So when we come back after the break, I'm going to talk to these 3 girls for just a few minutes, and we'll be right back.
So I have no way of knowing if he's abusing the daughters or not. The girls deny it, but I have to say that how he described what happened in the hotel room sounds like an honest mistake. Yes, he could just be using that as an excuse, but it could also be an honest mistake. And like he said, he was aroused when he felt a warm body, so he immediately got up and went to the bathroom to become unaroused. And I would expect him to then feel awkward and uncomfortable and, you know, maybe a little freaked out about that afterwards. So she's saying he had held his head in shame or he looked pale or whatever. I mean, I think if it were me accidentally doing something like that with my child, I would feel uncomfortable about that too. So I get it. It's true. It's just that at this point, this woman is not a credible witness. She claims that he's injecting her. He's clearly not. And she claims he's poisoning her food because he closed the refrigerator door really fast. And so it's just not really making sense to me, you know?
If I even stand close to Daddy, then you always get really suspicious and look at us weird. You're wrong. And then like you get mad because we're not on your side.
I'm not asking you to be on my side. What I want is to get to the truth.
It's aggravating. If we get up to get water or something, you'll have to follow us to make sure we're not with Daddy or something. And then like we never are, but you still say that we are. We know you're being suspicious because you're like, what are you doing? And you say it like a certain way that makes us feel like we're doing something wrong, but we're not doing anything.
It's definitely gotten out of hand to have reached this level.
I kind of feel attacked, accused of being like a rape apologist or something.
We've lost a lot of relationship with our dad. At home, we barely interact with each other, which is sad to say.
I know you're upset with Mommy, but I gotta do what I gotta do. And you have every right to be upset. But the truth needs to come out.
Even though we all live in the same home, we barely see each other.
But when we do, it's not even like that nice. It's like we're all mad at each other.
Well, I'm Dr. Phil. You know that your mother feels that things are going on that shouldn't be going on between each of you and your dad, right? That's not a surprise to anybody. Is there anything at all, even in a minor way, that makes you uncomfortable at all in your relationship with your dad? Is there anything that you'd like to change in any way whatsoever?
No, like I love my dad very much.
Of course.
And he hasn't done anything to me that would like make me feel uncomfortable in any way.
How about you?
Well, no, not really. We're actually pretty distant from our dad because our mom is actually like very just on edge, I guess, about it.
I mean, you mean it's difficult to be close to him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even being in the same room, like if he walks in,
Yeah,
and then like
she'll like stare at him and then she'll stare at us and it'll be really awkward for everybody.
Is there anything that you would want to change in your relationship with your dad?
like to get closer. When I was like 8 years old, one time my my dad was like putting me to sleep, and he kissed me goodnight, and then my mom said like for him to get away from me, and I didn't know why. I was really confused.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't really noticeable, like anything was different until probably I was about in like 4th grade, maybe 5th grade, till like it started being noticeable, like she was acting a little different. Yeah.
Is there anything that any of you would like to ask me?
Do you think that like you can help our family?
Let me assure you that what you're saying is exactly what I'm out there talking about, and what we want to do is finding a way for this family to be at peace and at ease all together. And I'm talking to both of them. I wanted to talk to you, and I'm gonna tell both of them exactly what I think and exactly what I think they need to do, and then we're going to make every effort we can to try to get everybody to calm down and just have some peace here. Okay? All right. Thanks for talking to me. Well, I've just been back and spoken with Pat and Mira's 3 lovely, lovely daughters. What did you think about what your daughters had to say?
I think they're scared. I know they love him. They're scared too about what's going to happen. I knew he had manipulated them.
Is it possible that 1, 2, 3 of your daughters are telling the truth?
I don't believe so, Dr. Phil. There's just too many behaviors. I even caught him exposing himself to the children. I brought it up, and he said, no one will believe me. It's too early in the morning. I got to go to work. And that was that. Another time, he said, I expect you to stand by my side. And I said, you don't have a side for me to stand by. I don't allow their friends over, sleep over, because of him.
You understand the problem is you have not one shred of proof. You said you took video, but you don't have it. You said you've caught him with them. You don't have any pictures. The girls, I've been doing this for 45 years. I have talked to a lot of victims. Those girls don't sound coached to me. You say that he's injecting you with poison every night. Mm-hmm. So you've been to the hospital, and findings here, this propylparin, I can't even pronounce that, paraben, used as a preservative in cosmetics such as cream, lotion, shampoo, bath, and food products. And then they found fragrance in cosmetics and soap, things that you would find in just about anyone. They told you there's no poison in your body.
They said no. I don't know what he was using. I don't know. All I know is that I'm in pain all the time.
Does that not tell you that perhaps you're wrong?
I know I'm not, but I don't know what he's using. I don't know what he's using.
Okay. Now, this is a toxicology report Pat has hidden in a secret bank safe. You say here that you found levels of arsenic, cadmium, chromium, lead, and mercury. And the test value here you found at 15. A high value would be 80. So you say, well, there, arsenic. So you're saying, are you saying he's using arsenic?
I just went and got myself tested. I don't know what arsenic it is. I just had them test for everything.
You can get those levels of arsenic from eating fish and mushrooms and rice and water and poultry.
I don't know what he's using. Like I said, I had to do what I had to do. I don't know what test to look for. I just had them test me for whatever they needed to do for any toxin, because I don't know what he's using.
Okay, but what are the alternatives?
I don't know.
One alternative is he has some new designer poison that nobody's ever heard of. That's a possibility.
Possibility.
Or it's a possibility that you're not really being injected with a poison.
You'll have to ask him.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know, Dr. Phil. He's the one that's doing
But
it.
you won't consider that that's a possibility.
It's a possibility. I don't know.
Joining us is Dr. Sonia Batra, who is a board-certified dermatologist. This is Dr. Batra right here. Doctor, thank you for being here. Now, you're a board-certified dermatologist. You specialize in this. She has examined the photos that Pat felt were the best representation of her being injected. Doctor, you've looked at these. Are these needle marks?
No, they really don't look like needle points or injection points, and they really looked more to me like urticaria or hives, which can certainly form overnight, especially the one on the back, which has that wheal with the slightly pink base. But if someone were really injecting a toxin or any sort of sedative, you would actually see a true injection site reaction. It takes hours, minutes to hours for any sort of sedative injected into the skin and not into a vein to work. But anything that toxic would actually have more of a reaction. It might actually cause some damage to the skin, which you really aren't seeing in any of these photos.
It's very upsetting.
Your lab reports show no poison. You have a dermatologist here that says these are just not injection
You just have
sites.
to ask him, Dr. Phil.
I believe I started the interview with him by saying, are you injecting your wife? I asked him, are you injecting your wife with anything at any time in any way? That was my first question. My second was, are you molesting your daughters in any way, in any fashion now or in the past? Those were my first two questions. You said you need to ask him. I asked him first off. I think that somewhere along the way, you've convinced yourself that this is true.
So in this episode, Pat has written to Dr. Phil because she suspects her husband of injecting her with poison, poisoning her food, and assaulting their daughters. That appears to be completely untrue. There is no evidence that he's injecting her, poisoning her food. Nothing has shown up on any lab reports. And there's no evidence that he's doing anything inappropriate to his own daughters. And the daughters all deny it. So yeah, she's been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and also claims that's a false diagnosis. So I think it's pretty straightforward to say she's paranoid because she's a paranoid schizophrenic. And honestly, this is really concerning because she has such extreme delusions that it's starting to negatively impact her own children. And they seem deeply traumatized by this. And why wouldn't they be? They're constantly being told your dad is molesting you. And they can't even experience affection from their own father without it being weird and awkward and uncomfortable. I mean, this could have like really long-term implications for them with intimacy, that they grow up with relationships and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what it could do, but it seems like it's already negatively affecting them. And the dad has also said that because she's so delusional about this, he doesn't know if one day she just might wake up and decide to kill everyone to protect them. And we know that that has happened before at times. So I think this is a serious concern. And my question is, okay, she was diagnosed and she's now having these delusions. Is there no treatment for her? Can she be on medication? But perhaps she would need to accept the treatments, and she doesn't accept it. She says she's not schizophrenic. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this situation? Do you agree with me that she's delusional? And do you agree that the husband has not done any of the things he's accused of? And how do you think this is affecting the children? And is there anything that can be done about this? And honestly, it's interesting to me that she claims her husband is this monster who's injecting her and assaulting their daughters, yet she still has the daughters in the house with him. If you really believe that all three of them are being assaulted by him every single day, why would you still have him in the house with these children that he's allegedly assaulting? And why would you be in a house with him if he's injecting you? So that doesn't even make sense to me. But what do you guys think about this? And what do you think this family should do? Y'all let me know. Drop it in the comments.